Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Zenless Zone Zero video. This is Mr.Squarrel. We're going to talk a little bit about Yixuan Kit today. This has been kind of like the anniversary character that I was waiting to kind of hear a lot about. So on my screen right now, I've actually pulled up a few things that I wanted to run through with everyone, going through what is the Rupture character, kind of thoughts about what to consider moving forward, and kind of starting to pre-plan out your build a little bit. So the first thing I wanted to actually bring up is I have the Game 8's kind of breakdown kit of her. This is they captured from the live stream. I also have the live stream as well pulled up, so we're going to go through a few things right now, and then I'm going to kind of run through what my general thoughts on this kit are, what I'm excited about. The first thing that I wanted to highlight is this right here. So they've even said it right here, is that sheer force. So she is a Rupture agent, and this is a new type of agent that is based on they ignore a percentage of the target's defense, which is pretty amazing, which also means Nicole herself will not run well with her, which is sad because they're both ether agents. They've also mentioned, so excels at dealing damage here, ignoring defense, here we go, specifically. So normally they rely on attack damage for this bonus, but she relies on where they literally just mentioned, so increase her own sheer force, and then right here they mentioned, but hers is based on HP, so you want to get HP on her. So one of the things that I wanted to first kind of highlight about her kit, so that she does not operate on a simple, like, so on a energy system, rather she operates on an adrenaline system, there we go, which she accumulates through her special attack and initiating perfect dodges. Her special attack will cause to retreat and then follow up with an attack. So if you press it, she goes boop boop, and then kind of does like which I wanted to kind of show right here, so we can kind of see it at this moment. So they do it really quickly so we can see it in action. So wait for it right here. Okay, now the first thing you're going to notice here is there is a block. Now, one of the things, so block with the EX special. So great mechanic here is that when so if she holds it, she'll block. But if she presses it, she dodges. So it's a backwards and forward motion. Okay. So you kind of see she's moving back and forth and back and forth, and there's her ult. So now her ult's a little bit different, but again, so if you hold it, it's a block. If you press it, it's a dodge into a special attack. Now her ultimate relies on these technique points right here. We see that up here at this point right here. So when you build up enough technique points, then she's able to do her quote unquote ultimate, which gives her the R ink point, which she consumes to activate other attacks. So when in possession of technique point, you can consume them in place of her ultimate to do an attack that gathers enemies in one place and deals damage to them. So it's like when you see them kind of coming together here, so it will bring enemies together. Okay, so there we go. So we see basic attack right here. So that's that dodge into special attack. So that's if you press it, hold, or you can press and then dodge, which is amazing. There you go. So if she holds it when she's got enough adrenaline, then she creates this big pulling everyone in. So if we use it at the right moment, she can also dodge and they get the vital view. So what's really cool is, so she's getting a lot of dodge. So a lot of her kit also allows her to dodge. Similar very much to Jane, right? So she's really meant to be this on-field, all-the-time kind of character. And so when we think about these characters that need to be on the field all the time, it really kind of opens up, it is great and also limits them. Now the other thing that we do know is that they also mention, let's see if they also mention it right here. How do you accumulate adrenaline? So then, once she enters combat, she'll recover all adrenaline. So this is additionally when triggering perfect dodges, So, and then if you hold it, there's that block I've been talking about. They did that earlier too. That looks so good. That looks so cool. I love characters that block. It's like a nice little backup. If she would cover some Angelin. Wonderful. So it's like there's a lot of ways in her kit that she's gaining adrenaline. When Yun gains a maximum attack movement from consuming adrenaline, she can then unleash her ultimate. Right? There we go. Okay. Interesting uses as well. Evasion techniques. Hold the dodge button to summon. So this is what her dodge is. This is just her like run animation. So this is light air state. Crush and destroy enemies. So she has a lot of like bringing enemies together, and a lot of ways to dodge attacks. That looks, and then so here we go. We can see it kind of in action. They're actually, one thing you'll notice, they're having Pulcher here as well, which is good. So we have Pulcher and Astra. I think that could work. I think one of the things that always makes me a little worried here is I think Astra will be a great teammate for her, but Astra's a great teammate for everybody. If you don't have Astra, you should be going for Astra over E1. I don't even... Astra's probably one of the most valuable characters in the game right now. When you accumulate an enemy point, launches her ultimate. Do damage to enemies. At the point, we can now expand the aura point to launch skills. So it's like you skill, basic attack, ultimate skill, ultimate, basic attack, skill. So you're really just really kind of going back and forth. Also, evenly distribute the squad's HP among agents. Whoa, hold on. Meanwhile, will also evenly distribute the squad's HP among each agent. So she is all. So what this tells me is you actually want a healer with her. This line right here. So as she gets hurt, she can then distribute that damage to other teammates, right? Well, what that tells me is you're going to want teammates with her that can also heal up, because she's not going to be taking all the damage. It's going to be distributed back and forth, right? So the thing that then we come back to is like, so if we think about who will be her best teammates, well, the first thing of the best team, her next best teammate is going to be sitting right here, because they did mention that he has a level of heal in his kit. There we go. So continuously restoring their health. This is his ultimate, right? So he has, so let's see, hitting enemies with a touch of death, also inflict a debuff on them, causing all units in that right deal damage over a certain period of time. The more pressure points he hits, the longer there will be a duration. So he's just making it so people take more damage. When he goes into the fight, striking yada yada yada. Also known as Kung Fu. They just entering chain attack off his hat, hop into rapidly crashing the enemies. Also allows him to showcase technique. This is it right here. Doing physical damage to enemies, so he's physical, and then there we go. Small amount of HP to whole squad. That will work really, really well with her kit, who's distributing them evenly, who's distributing the HP over. So her and Panda and her work really, really well together. What that also means is, you know, also might work really, really well with them, Astra, but Astra works well with everybody, which is also slightly, I mean, what I'm starting to see is that we might need a healer coming in. Now, the character we know is coming is her Jufufu. Jufufu is an off-field stunner, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of characters here, and I'm only going to go for one of them. I'm going for Yixuan because I have kind of prepped for her. I also have my pity saved, so I'm ready to go for her. I hopefully will pick up a few pandas in the way. I would really like to pick up a few pandas, but this is also making me think, like, what's coming next? And I have a feeling, I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to start doing with damage, because this whole time, like, you can take no damage in this game just simply if you're dodging at the right time, doing what you need to do at the right times. You can literally just kind of get out of taking all forms of damage, right? But I have a feeling, because she's scaling on HP, this is leading me to believe that starting, like, you'll notice they're starting to make characters a little bit more defensive oriented, and it's making me starting to think, as you're kind of, if you've watched any of my videos on the tower, you can take a lot of damage in the tower very, very quickly. It's like you can pretty much just get one shot the whole time. And so you really want to think about, I have a feeling they're going to kind of push for a meta where we're needing more sustain than we've needed in the past. Granted, if you're probably good enough, you can probably avoid doing that. But I think this is one thing to consider moving forward is how they're going to shift the meta. We know Hoyo will shift metas, and it's really important to think about how they're going to shift the meta moving forward, because you really want to plan for that. We saw this briefly when they were kind of testing out the different game modes. I really thought they were going to go more the defense route. That I really did like when they went the I think it was the deadly assault, but not deadly assault. The it's every 2 weeks. Oh my god, I'm spacing so hard right now. But my point is the end game mode is they that's more of an attack mode. It's like do as much damage as fast as you can. You want to get through a time attack mode. But then they've also had one where it was more defense mode. And I'm kind of curious to see, I have a feeling they're going to start pushing content that's more like, it's going to be really hard to not take damage, is my point. Because if we look at her, she is very defense oriented. So defense oriented. With evasion kind of baked into her kit all over the place, reminding me very much of Jane. Jane, who has a ton of defense baked into her kit while also doing a ton of offense, right? But where we don't see that is like Yanagi. Well, Yanagi and Miyabi, because of how they set up, especially when you put Astra in their team, they have so much iframe invincibility frames that it's really easy to kind of not take damage with them. But I'm having a feeling they're going to start pushing more and more content where maybe there'll be levels of unavoidable damage in the sense of like AoE damage. We see that a lot in the tower. And so I'm kind of curious to see what they do with this. I don't know where to go with it, but it's really interesting that they're releasing an HP scaling character that's going to do damage. That to me just leads into this notion that they're going to push content that is going to be hit very hard. When you start seeing characters with this kind of like look, when perfect dodge is so baked into her hit and she's doing a ton of damage, I'm going to just say this right now, I'm really under the notion that they're going to push content that is going to make us need characters that are more defensive, more so than even Caesar. Because we're seeing both characters that are releasing. We have her and Panda. Panda is also he's defense oriented, right? And he's healing. So we'll see. I'm curious to see what they do with this. But that's all for my take on this, folks. Again, if you think I'm wrong, totally fine. But that's just what I'm thinking. I wish all of you the best of days. And remember, failing is just your... And again, hold on before I think I could be totally wrong here, and that's fair, but I'm just saying I really do think they're going to start pushing a meta where we're going to need characters that can tank.